Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible holiday weekend. So happy Tuesday to everyone as we get this week fired up. For those wondering, Jared is out today, so I will be covering for him. Well, I won't say covering because there's no way to cover for Jared. He has so much information. I will be filling in his spot for now. So good morning, guys. As I get warmed up, you get warmed up, everybody gets fired up to get going for this short week of trading. So, looking forward to it. Um, let's see some of the top news happening today. I was looking at Trading Terminal. I went over to news and kind of seeing what's developing here. And the thing that most of us are looking at is just the overall SPY, right? The overall SPY. At the moment, we are going on our third week of. We're not going. We booked our third week of red action here. So if you look at the weekly, this will be the third down week that we have. And we'll see how things develop. We're slightly up this morning. Not a whole lot of major catalysts today as far as news that's out at the moment. So we'll see how this week continues. Although we are in September, we're still seeing some of that slowdown that tends to happen, during summer trading. Kids are back to school, at least in my area. I know some people start a bit sooner, but kids are getting back to school this week. So I suspect by next week, end of September, we start to see things pick up here. Good morning, first day for me. Welcome. First day in the community, first day trading live. What exactly a first day? I'm assuming first day with the community. If so, welcome to the BBT family. We are glad to have you. You're definitely in the right place. Um, so yeah, we see how this week goes. Again, I expect it to be same song and dance we saw last week. Things with catalysts like we saw Nvidia last week. We saw AMD had a big catalyst, and that obviously uh, m- created a lot of opportunities for us. So looking forward to that. And we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, there's just a lot of job cuts happening. We've seen that as well. So we'll see. There's a few catalysts that turned out last week. Job cuts as well. For what was it? What's the big company that did the cut? They also was it Snap? Snap. Yeah, Snap was another one that had a big catalyst last week too. They had a lot of job cuts. So again, we'll see how things turn out. So yeah, so first day in the community. Welcome. In other news, we also again the energy gas still is an issue. I mean that's going to be something for some time. It's not going to go away. So, Oxy and these other MRO and the other companies that Jerry usually talks about are going to be in play. I think that's not going away for some time now. I don't know if we have any major announcements coming up this week. Let me look at the notes I received this morning here. I don't know if we have anything major that can play a part here this week. But for the most part, I don't see anything crazy for today. Normal have a tighter schedule later when we do our regular 8:30 morning prep on what's going on, major things happening that can move the market for today and the rest of the week. So we'll take a look at what he has there for us. As far as that, guys, again, just continue to be patient. I mean, it's this August, September are for me, my worst trading months. They definitely are. It's very different environment. Things don't run as we mentioned last week. My best months is July, right? August, September are definitely on the lower side of things. Even as far as the number of trades I take, they drop down a lot. So, if I look my overall numbers for the month, they're definitely lower than they usually are. And so I'm aware of that. I'm aware not to force things during this time of the year for sure. Our gappers list this morning, very early on, we see a couple of things in here. I do see BBBY back on deck, now down 15.2. So this thing taking another hit down this morning. Let's look at the actual daily here as well, and we can see it. No ATD, no Jared this morning, so he had to take off unfortunately. So I am filling in for his spot this morning. So yeah, we were definitely going to miss engineering the markets, guys. Is every Monday through Thursday at 8 a.m. And the stuff he puts together, I mean, it's just incredible and helps us out a ton to get ready for the day. So we will miss that today, but he will be back tomorrow on this seat, right, to rock and roll. So here's BBY. They're down 14.8. And again, they just been getting crushed here, right? They had a crush. They had a run here, and now it's just right back down. And I wasn't aware. I just saw the news. I think Abio sent it to me I just the news of the guy that committed suicide, CFO, and I was in August 23rd. I didn't really, I don't know. Oh, you know what? I was off that day because that's my daughter's birthday. Yeah, that's what it was. So I didn't, wasn't aware of the guy that killed himself, the suicide from BBBY. So just madness. It's he had a rich quick scheme going there, and he got caught obviously. So no good there. ATD, yeah, I had an incredible weekend, man. Incredible weekend. So yeah, it's just to me, it's like getting fired up for the week. When you get these long weekends, it's real nice to kind of relax and just kind of reset, right? Especially with trading, man. Trading is so stressful. Anytime you can get an extra day off, it's real nice. And then we got Ape. Ape is up 3.4. We'll see what that's doing. I see a lot of meme stock all down. GameStop down as well. So we'll see what's going on there. I'm sure they're going to be in play. We have earnings still coming up this week. Again, the big stuff on earnings has gone, but there's a couple of companies that are reporting this week. One of them just reminded me of GameStop. So GameStop will be reporting on Wednesday. This is Neo, I believe. I think this logo is Neo. Yeah, so this is Neo. Now we got to make sure if that's correct because Neo's logo it tends to pop up in places it's not supposed to. So last time we had it in the wrong place. I don't know how it got picked up. But yeah, it says pre-market earnings pre-market tomorrow for Neo. I have that also confirmed here on Trade Ideas. So we have Neo coming up. What else is good here? Dave & Buster's does not trade very well, even with earnings. GameStop will be a good one. What else? DocuSign. This is good. This trade's good in earnings. I'm sure Ed will be trading that. Let's see what else we have here. RNH, no. And ending the week, Kroger could be decent. KR. And then outside of that, I don't see anything that looks decent to trade. So we'll see. How about today? I thought today we had. Hold on a second. This is not this week because today. Oh no, it is this week. When do we have Oracle? I thought we had Oracle sometime today. Or is that next week? That might be next. Oh, that is next week. That's next Monday. Okay, next Monday looks a little bit better. We got Oracle, you got Adobe, you got some other company names here. But yeah, all right, cool. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. It's going to create some movement for us there. But again, obviously at the tail end of earnings season, because you can tell by the names of the companies are not great. I'm looking on to next week. Costco, we got some retailers there. Nike. I thought Nike reported already. What is yeah. All right, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, going back to our gappers list here. So again, we'll see what's going on there. DWAC doesn't trade very well. Bob is one of my favorite ones. Cannot wait to see what's happening there. They usually trade very decent, and I always find some good opportunities on there on Bob. So that's been a great trader for us. IC is for those that trade the pre-market. IC is definitely in play. Be very careful with this stock. It looks very messy. It can move quite a bit. The flow is not a low flow stock. It's sitting at 105 million. So you want to be careful here on this one. Yeah, so it's just be mindful of this thing. So far as high as 1428, the lows of 990.98 here. So again, very careful. We do have shares for short on this one. And I have some pretty good levels. I don't recall doing these levels on the daily here. It must have been when they gapped down here, maybe. I don't recall when we did levels for this ticker, but pre-market looks like some of these levels are playing nice here. So you see some of that 1070, 1017, 1226, 13. Yeah, they're playing nice. So those levels are still in play here. Yeah, we are finally getting some rain. I agree. Man, it's been so humid here the last couple of days, but we're getting some rain this morning, which is nice. All right, guys, on YouTube, do I have my YouTube chat open? Oh, hold on a second. I'm sure I have my YouTube chat open. Getting fired for the week, guys. So just warming up the engines here. It takes a bit to go in. This is usually the time I have my coffee and just hang out and listen to Jared. So I'm on an early pace this morning. All right. I am in Jersey. I am New Jersey. Yeah, not the best part of the country, but it is what it is. This is where family is. And I say not the best part of the country, not saying it's bad, but there's definitely other places. Yeah, Brian, actually this week I'm trying to cut back on coffee, so no coffee for me today, which again, I never drank coffee before, so I'm trying to cut back on that. So It'll be water and maybe tea later. All right, guys. Let's take a look at our gappers list. Let's go through these now. I know it's a little bit early, but let's see if there's anything else happening over here. Does anybody have news on IC? Why is this thing popping up today? 31%. Let's go to trading terminal. Let's put IC on here. And what are these guys, by the way? Iveric Bio, so biotech company. In the news this morning, let's see what we got going on for these guys. Beth and Beyond shares. Yeah, so Beth and Beyond shares decline after CFO stuff. Yeah, I mean, yes, but I don't think I think they're going to decline anyway. I mean, that's just a headline I just saw now. I think they were going to decline anyway. I mean, this stock, we all know it's doesn't belong up here, right? They're not doing well. So, I don't think this gap down is because of that, right? And again, this thing happened on the 23rd, for what I'm reading. So again, I just don't think that those two are tied in. To each other. So, and it's funny. So the issue was the pump and dump. Right? I haven't read the whole story. I just know it's based on some pump and dump stuff. And this is what I'm looking at here, guys. You can always check the news. Tradingterminal.com, guys. You can click on news. You'll see the tickers come up here. So, I mean, there's no mystery. There's some pump and dump happening with this ticker, right? Just that someone is involved at a very high level internally makes it pretty bad. But yeah, this is just not surprising that there's some shady stuff going on there when you have movements like this that can really affect people's bottom line when it comes to dollars. So we're looking for IC here, stock soaring, geographic atrophy trial. Sorry, so they got a phase 3 trial that looks like did very well. They announced it. Positive results. Okay, so positive results on a phase 3 trial. That usually tends to move things very well, and that is for IC. So yeah, playing nice this morning, or very active, but be careful, guys, because what I'm seeing here is this thing has popped up a lot already and is selling right back down. So that's not good, but still want to keep an eye on. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on my list. It's definitely in play. It is not a low float, so I'm going to be putting this one here on a risky pile. So be very, very careful. Yeah, I know Jared today. He will be back tomorrow. He had to take off unexpectedly here, but yeah, he's sorry for missing this morning. He will be back tomorrow for sure. So ICU, put that on deck. BTU, we've seen this before. It doesn't trade very well. They're up 6% this morning. I'm just going to check to make sure there's no crazy news that might be interesting for us. This is Peabody Energy Corporation. So German government sees problems with coal supply. Yeah, that's if you guys have not read on this German issue with the energy, you should. I mean, it is insane what these guys are facing, and what kind of winter that these guys are going to have, right? And I don't know. It's going to affect us over here as well, as far as the economy and everything else. But yeah, this is going to be insane. The stuff I'm hearing. Here's a BTU, guys. So BTU at the moment, they are again up 6.1%, 160. What is that? What the hell is that noise? Well, somebody's pulling something down the street or something. All right. All right. So here, guys. Yeah. So we'll see BTU popping up 30%, but again, not sorry, 6%, but not really a good one. Here's Ape this morning. I don't think it's tradable. You know, gapping up 5-6% down, 5-6%, 3%. It's just doesn't do anything really. A lot of choppiness on this. So again, not a big fan. On Friday, looks like we had a nice little pop here. But again, very difficult to trade. I won't be having this on my list. But yeah, you could watch it if you like the way that moves. I'm not a big fan of it. On the gap down list, we have DWAC. And DWAC this morning, it's a tough trader. What is DWAC? What's going on? Do we have earnings or something? Let's check DWAC. I'm gonna check our trading terminal here on DWAC and see what's going on. So here is DWAC. DWAC right now. What do we have? S&P. Shares plumbing today. Okay, I don't see nothing significant. It's just a bunch of Trump stuff, but that shouldn't affect the ticker. It's all Trump stuff. So yeah, that shouldn't affect the actual ticker itself, right? If it's not tied into actually with Trump, whatever happens to Trump, it shouldn't be. But looks like it's plummeting on what? What's the news? Telling the pre-market to the acquisition. Oh, there's an acquisition already. All right, can't tell what the actual news is. Yeah, that's not good. That's not. I mean, these guys are talking about merger already. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, this was a tough business to get into, man. To try to create a this is social media, right? Social media platform. The truth, I believe, is what it is. This was a tough gig, man. I mean, there's just so much social media out there. To get people to move over to another social media, make it compete with like Twitter. That's a bad business deal. It's just I don't see how you get that done. And not just it doesn't matter what political party you are. Even if it was not towards a political party, it doesn't matter. To create something new like that and get the masses to move over is tough. And we saw this with other things too. Like for example, we have Instagram, and there's another one called Vero, right? And Vero is it's less it's more for photographers. Doesn't have the algo like and Instagram used to be like this. If you guys remember, Instagram was more about the pictures, and there was not this algo like and whoever you follow is what you got. Now it's all ads. You barely can see what the people that you follow. Like I follow a lot of you guys that are on Instagram. I barely get your stuff. I get a bunch of people that I don't even know, and then I see somebody from the BBT community, right? And I'm like, okay, here's Jason, here's Alberto, here's this and that of you guys, right? And I'm okay. I click on that, but it's like in between, there's so much crap that I didn't ask for. So you got other platforms trying to step up, like Vero is one of them. But again, it's so hard to move the masses over. Even though Instagram is turning to crap, it is so hard to move the masses over to something else. It takes a lot. So same thing here. Same thing here. So down 21% this morning. And again, unfortunately, this thing doesn't get volume, and we don't have no shares for sure. So I won't be watching this one. We were just handicap overall on this ticker here. So again, not fun. Not fun there. BBBY might be fun, guys. This thing is down 15%. No shares for sure as well. Again, these two here were limited on what we could do. BBBY though, I think it can still be a possible because you can get a couple of spikes here. You might still be able to get some moves towards the upside. So I won't completely dismiss it because we can trade it short. There might be some breakout trades, like a couple of little short squeeze there. Rumble making headway. Yeah, I heard about Rumble. Another one too that is kind of trying to combat with the algorithms for YouTube, which again I get it. I get it. They control what you get, what you watch. So it's a little bit tough when you have the algos determining what they're gonna feed you, right? So that is concerning. But Rumble again, same thing, Jonathan. Very hard to get the masses to move over to Rumble, but Rumble is pretty well known for a few people. So that's BBY, guys. We'll see how good it is. GameStop, another one that we cannot short. Also, all these tickers that are down today, another one that we cannot short. So I'm gonna add this one here next to GameStop. Again, I think you can get some, even though we can't short it now. These are always explosive, and who knows what can happen here. But again, both of them not doing well, especially GameStop, right back to some key levels below 28. We'll see where that goes. All right, finally, I think we're getting to something that we can actually put on our main list, which is BABA. And right now they're gapping down 2%. And I like BABA when they're gapping up or down, right? You can get some pretty good moves. We're back at this level here where we saw some support in the past. And it's just curious to see what is the news on BABA? Why we're gapping down today? What is causing this? China to comply with U.S. exchange standards to avoid delisting, but analyst warns of some bumps on the road. Okay, so that was 3 days ago. That's not new. Neo's new anti-shake AR class will ensure a smooth movie. Okay, that's not has to do not to do with Baba, but I don't see anything fresh, guys. It's still the same thing about the delisting and checking on these stickers. I don't see anything fresh on Baba. So it could still be a great trader. I do like Baba quite a bit, so I'm gonna add him on here, guys. 245,000 already. It's very early. Only 821 this morning, down 2.1. So I think it's worth taking a look at that. Look at this. ATXG. You guys remember this from last week? What a mess, man. I mean, this thing here. Or I did it IPO? It didn't IPO. I think this what was it? Yes, it IPO'd. Yeah, that's right. IPO'd. Let's go back here. On our can we do like a 60-minute? Here we go. 60 minutes, perfect. So this thing IPO'd on the 31st, and then shot up to after hours, shot up to about 600, and after hours went up to 11 something, right? This is the after hours line here, and then did nothing, and then right back down to 970. uh, it's just crazy. What was it Pfizer? Pfizer did an amazing number on this one. He did a great trade on that first day. This is not tradable. Just be very, very careful. I don't think we're going to see anything like this, by the way, going forward. Very, very rare that you get some action like that happening again. So again, I don't think this thing is in play at all. I know it's early, but what have you guys been watching from last week or this week that you're going to be keeping an eye on? I got Ross Deep throwing out Amazon this morning, and you can also, since we have a lot of time, you can throw out some questions. We can get to those. Then at 8:30 when Nor comes on, we'll look at the market pulse, see what he has scheduled for this week and today and this week as well. So Amazon this morning, we do have some volume, 413, so not bad. I have not traded Amazon as much as I have the other usual suspects. Not saying they have not been great. It's just when these guys are moving, hold on, let's get Amazon up here. When these guys are moving, you have other companies. Actually, so that's value, guys, 224,000 for Amazon. When these guys are moving, you have Apple, you have Nvidia, and the others, AMD, doing some pretty cool stuff. So look at Friday. Friday they traded very, very well. This is very, very clean. But again, we have other tickers as well that kind of catch my attention. This week, Apple is it this week? Apple has an event, right? They're showing off their iPhone 14 or something, which is going to be probably the same as the 13, just for an extra camera, maybe. What is it they're doing this week? Let's check here. Nothing changes. Everything is the same. Apple News. Is it this week or next? I don't recall. How to watch Apple's iPhone 14 launch and what to expect. What's the date on this thing? Is it today? Tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. Thanks, Tande. All right, so tomorrow. All right, so we'll see what. Usually those events don't move this that well anyway. I mean, I haven't seen that event really cause a lot of movement in the overall market in their stock, right? These guys care more about what's the inventory, what's the sales, what's happening there. They don't care about the releases of what they're releasing and stuff like that. I haven't seen that move it in the past. It just doesn't matter. They're gonna get the sales. It's just that they're gonna have the inventory. And well, are they gonna get the sales given the way the situation is right now with everything? Either way, Apple is up slightly this morning. You do have some volume. I think it'll be a good one to keep on deck. I'm not gonna add Amazon Ross just because I think there's some better ones out here. Like I usually end up watching Apple or some other ones. Ecom this morning. This looks like a buyout. This does not look good. You got the initial pop 15 to 22 and just going flat. There's no movement besides 22.75 here. So I can't confirm it's about, but it really looks like one. I'm gonna check trading terminal, see what we have going on for Ecom here. Let's see, ACOM. What is Channel Advisor? What kind of company is this? I'm selecting the wrong ticker here. Okay, Channel Advisor. Here we go. So, they have moving. Yeah, they have okay earnings. All right, so they have earnings. Looks like. Oh, buyback, maybe. Yeah, I don't see anything. That was 2 months ago. No. So this morning they just have stock moving Tuesday pre-market session. I don't see what's going on. Okay, stock move upwards 54% during the pre-market session. The company's cap stands. All right, so yeah, this is not good. I don't see anything great on this one, so we'll skip on that one. Acquisition. Okay, yeah, there it is. That's not a great ticker for us to look at. Some other ones we have on deck. What are we guys looking at? You guys looking at Nvidia, Tesla, Snow, Lulu. Yeah, Nvidia, again, it's Nvidia, AMD, Tesla, all amazing last week, especially Nvidia, guys. I would love to see how this thing is going to play out this week. They've just been getting killed. Obviously, some bad news out of China, out of the US for their China sales, so that's going to affect them. AMD sale was not an issue for them, but AMD still getting hurt a little bit by that. Not as much as Nvidia, but Nvidia will keep an eye on. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they end this week. I saw a great video by Artie. Artie put a nice video on YouTube, and it was like 10% of their sales. So it's a pretty significant amount that's being chopped off here. So especially when the economy's not doing well, 10% is a big number. You got to get everything you can get. Here's Tesla, another one that's I'm gonna add to the list. Gonna be on play. It's a quiet week, so we're reverting back to our usual suspects: Apple, Nvidia, and Tesla. which we know are going to get the volume, which we know are going to move the same way the Qs do. If you look at the Q and these tickers, they are exactly the same. I'm looking for Nvidia to hopefully, Dan, Dan, don't get me started. I just saw your message, Dan. Do not get me started on this port USB-C situation here. So here's Nvidia. Again, just moving with the overall market, but these guys I expect to see something a little bit different, hopefully, given the gap down that we had here. So yeah. All right, let's go to Oxy. Patrick, let's see what's going on here on Oxy. Oxy, yeah, Oxy would be a good one. I mean, it actually has a, given how early it is, it actually has a pretty active free market activity. Hey, good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning. Give me just a second.
Yeah, no worries, man.
May or may not have a camera today. Ah, there we go.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I got you. Excellent.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem at all, man. How was your weekend?
It was good. It was interesting, man. Great tennis, great long weekend with the family and everything. U.S.
Yeah,
Open
yeah,
was fantastic. I tweeted about that yesterday. One of my favorite players beat
yeah.
Nadal, so I'll take that. And but we had insane storms.
Oh, you did.
Insane
Yeah,
storms on Sunday. We had 60, 70 mile an hour wind gusts, took out power. We were out without power for like 4 hours. Luckily, it wasn't very hot. It
yeah.
actually cooled it down quite a bit, but the lake, there were boats crashed into the dam. I mean, it
Oh
was
man. Yeah,
nuts what some of the pictures and stuff I've seen. So anyway,
man.
yeah, it was
Did you
great. How
guys get
about you?
some rain at least with the storm? Did you
Oh
get some
yeah,
rain or okay,
we
good.
got
All right,
we
good.
got rain.
Okay, good,
It
good,
was
good.
pretty wild. There was stuff, people's trampolines on top of their houses. It was a little bit ridiculous. How was your weekend?
Yeah, better than that. Better than that. That's same, man. Good time with the family. Again, a couple of barbecues, meetups, and stuff like that. So a whole lot of fun. Whole
Good.
lot of fun. Um, so we're just kind of going through some of that stuff here from our members that are throwing out here. But let's do this. Let's stop here and Norm, kind of go over what we have for the market pulse and what's coming up for today, if anything exciting. So far, it seems like a slower than usual week.
It's a little quiet right now. There's probably a little bit of a hangover from the weekend. We'll see how it goes. It's September, even though summer's over unofficially with the weekend. Takes a little bit for the markets to get going again. We have had a pretty substantial slide in SPY and the Qs over the last week or so. And Friday, things opened higher and then sold off specifically on the Qs. So it's just the market can't hold gains right now. We'll see. People are concerned. People don't really have any faith in what's happening in the pop that we got over the last couple of months. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. 9:45, we've got final read on S&P USI, S&P US Services PMI, and then 10 a.m. the ISM Services Index. So that's the data for the day. And yeah, let's see. What do we have? I want to look because I'm a little bit behind. We've got a bunch of Fed speakers over the next few days. So I mean, a ton of them. I don't see any listed for today, but we've got 3 tomorrow. We've got 2 or 3 Thursday, including Powell. And then Friday, we've got 2 or 3. We've got 3 Friday. So be interesting to see what the market takes out of those with the rising interest rate environment. Of course, I see people over on YouTube mentioning Devon, DVN, Nat Gas play there. Russia playing games with pipelines to Europe, specifically Germany. Now they've essentially shut them down and said they're not going to turn them back on. It's going to be a little bit of, and with some OPEC news plus on top of that. So, yeah, oil's going to be interesting. Nat gas is going to be interesting. Definitely will be in play.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So be on the lookout for that, guys. So far we looked at it, Baba, right? I mean, we got some movement there. We have our usual suspect, Apple, Nvidia, and we have Tesla here, which again were very active last week. And as Norm mentioned, the Qs not being able to hold. a lot of these sitting on the queue. You can see here how, well, actually, all three of those sitting on the queues besides Baba, basically following what the overall market is doing, right? Besides Nvidia, Nvidia had a nice gap down last week, which looking forward to see how that's going to react in the next couple of days here. It might just continue to follow the overall market from here. Might not really do its own thing, but again, this gap down on that news was significant for them. All right, Norm. Also, I know you're running a little bit behind, but have you seen anything that you liked to watch this morning?
I mean, I'm looking. Obviously, we've got our gappers list here. The big new, the crazy story is BBBY, which I don't
I
know if we've
know.
dug into that yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, it's going to be interesting what that does overall to the meme stocks, because the people that are really the whole meme crowd, Wall Street bets crowd, and I know a few of them. They think of Ryan Cohen like a god, and for it to come out that it's being investigated whether he and the CFO were colluding as far back as like March or April, for
Mm-hmm.
a pump
Mm-hmm.
and dump scheme on the stock. That's, I mean, is terrible. I
Yeah.
feel terrible, for somebody's family when somebody takes their own life like that. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I experienced that last year, and it's an awful, awful thing. But for there's got, I mean, is there fire where that smoke is you know Ryan Cohen
It's
going to be
tough.
popped on something like this? It's interesting. So anyway,
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. It's gonna definitely be interesting to follow that story, and we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Um, All right, guys. So a couple of more names popping up on our gappers list that we haven't gone through. We have NCLH here, which is making it actually up 2.5. So pretty good pop already. No volume right now. But that could be interesting. 2.5 so far. So let's see if that means anything. I'm gonna check CCL as well to see if it's just no, CCL is, yeah, also up 1.8, but NCLA is looking interesting if we can get the volume. Let's see if we can get the volume. Without volume, guys, these things are just not really in play lately, and very similar to what the overall market's been doing. Whenever we've been selling off, all the stocks are selling off, right? As Norm mentioned, these things cannot hold, and the overall market and stocks are feeling it. On the gap down list, I see two that popped up here. SE, which is not a great trader, pretty much garbage, guys. I mean, this is just tough to trade. C limited, and they're just brutal. They don't get great volume. And EQ and NR, another one that also does not get great volume. That is a very tough sticker to trade. I don't think we ever traded this. Look at this daily, how choppy this is. It's foreign. I don't know if ASA means anything, but it looks foreign. It looks foreign the way it's choppy here all over the place. But I'm
Here
not
you have
100%
up
sure. This is AQNR.
EQNR. Yeah, it's a
EQNR, sorry.
Norwegian oil and gas.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, these will be in play, but there's better tickers to trade when it comes to gas and stuff like that. All right, let's take it back to the room, guys. See what else you have on deck. And again, guys, it's gonna be a slow start to the morning into the week. So I'm probably gonna keep this list right here: Baba, Apple, Nvidia, and Tesla, unless something else pops up. I do have BBBY here. Unfortunately, we cannot short this, but I think that's gonna be in play given all the news around it, which is not positive. I mean, I think they still could have had this drop of 15.9. I think this was gonna happen after this thing's investigated and all that takes place. So we'll see. All right, what else we have here? So one of my friends on MP Cap, and when is the first? I'm not sure. Norm will answer that in a second. Oh,
I
he did.
just answered
Yeah.
that.
Yes, just
7
saw
p.m.
that.
tonight is
Yep.
orientation. An email will go out to everybody today in regards to that.
Yep. CVS here, guys, up 1.5. Not really in play. I don't see anything happening with this. No volume at all, Michael. But I know you look out for these with no stock the way you trade. I know that just by the tickers you throw out. You look for this strategy here. Looks like this breakout strategy. So just let me know what kind of strategy you're looking for, because your ticker seems to always match like that daily breakout situation. We'll look at that one here: SGFI, SGFY, which again I'm not a big fan of. Same tier, possible breakout on the daily looks like. So yeah, if you're looking for that specific strategy, those look good. But not for the way I trade. So I won't add them to my list here personally. Over on YouTube, let's see what we have. We have DVN, Dustin. Yeah, you can look at that. DVN is a good one. As XBEV all-time low since Friday. DWAC new all-time low. Yeah, the issue with DWAC, and we spoke about this a little bit earlier, it is on our gappers list. It doesn't trade very well. Now today they have 190. You do have you're down 21%, but you do not have shares for short on this with Interactive Broker. So that's my reason for not keeping them on there. So we'll see, but they're definitely in play. I mean, get not good news for them on a merger, acquisition, or whatever's happening there. Here is XBEV. XBEV is pretty quiet right now. Again, they've been getting just crushed here, guys. Nothing but downside. The last peak here was $35. We're hanging out at 16 bucks. So again, just madness on XBEV. And but right now, I don't see anything great on it as far as pre-market activity. Um, All-time low on this, you said? That could be interesting. I mean, they failed to pop up here. This area was the area where they popped up a couple of times. Even here, they failed this level. So that could be interesting. We need the volume, though. We definitely need the volume on the XBEV. Do we have shares for sure? Yes, we do. Yeah, that could be interesting. Let's see what it does there. All-time low on XBEV. Let's see where that goes. Raven UVXY. Yeah, this is the VIX, right? UVXY. So I don't usually put this on my list, but you can definitely look at this. Be careful. This thing can move.
Be very
But
careful on those.
yeah, this thing is leveraged. How many? Three times, if
Three
that.
times.
Yeah, so just be very careful. There's other things you can play if you want to play volatility, right? So other tickers, other ETFs. The SPY itself, the TQQs, the Qs, and so forth. So you could do that, but just be careful with this one, guys. And the liquidity is usually liquidity is actually pretty good.
Yeah,
It's just how
okay as far as that
aggressive it
goes.
moves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does
yeah,
move. It moves fast.
yeah. So very, very mindful of that. BTU we looked at. It is a horrible trading ticker, Dustin. This is why I don't have it on my list. I know they're up 5.5 this morning. Man, they don't trade well at all. So I didn't look too deep into what the news is that they're causing them to gap up this morning. This is Peabody Energy. Well, actually, this could just be energy news. I think there's better tickers out there that we can look at, like Oxy could be one of them as well. Oxy, Oxy's a good one here. They're active this morning, guys. They're active. I'm gonna put Oxy on deck. See where we go there. Some other ones you could look at MRO. I forget the other one that's well, but MRO is another one you could look at. They don't do a whole lot pre-market, but after the market open, you can see some action coming out of those there. RFG Tesla news this week and next AI. All right, cool. I mean, this ticker is probably the least ticker that needs any news to get moving. They could move. They could move just on anything. I mean, they're so aggressive on their moves. But what's
I
coming
will
out? Is it
say,
positive? Hopefully.
I will say that I saw, and it's not Tesla, it's SpaceX, but I saw a string of um, their satellites this morning at about 5 a.m. I went out to take care of something, and I saw a streak across the sky. It looked like aliens invading the Starlinks. Have you ever seen that?
No,
Or
I
seen
haven't
pictures
seen
of
it.
it?
No, I haven't seen pictures
Dude,
of it.
it was like a line across the sky
That's crazy.
that
That's
was
scary
just
stuff.
like bright as can be. It looked like a sparkler almost. It was nuts.
Yeah, I'm actually looking up pictures right now. Um, all right. Oh, does it really look like this? Well, you saw it, so does it really look like something like that?
It was, yes, very similar, but the ones I saw were closer together.
Close
And I mean,
together.
just
Okay. Yeah,
insanely bright. It looked like flash bulbs going off up in the sky. It was crazy.
that is insane. Well, welcome to the future. Madness. So yeah, so now when you're camping with your kids and you look up, oh, what's that, Daddy? Well, this is not the stars.
This is not
Where's this?
stars
This
anymore.
is not the cup in hand though that we're looking for. This is Starlink. Interesting times. Um, all right, guys. So let's see what else we have here. So Tesla, we'll see what happens there. But again, this ticker does not need any gas to get going. But we'll see how that plays out. All right, excellent. Again, guys, just not a whole lot that looks great today. But things are going to be interesting. Eyes on the SPY, eyes on the Qs. We'll see if we can hold here. It's going to be the key, right? We're bouncing off a level of 390, which we thought many people thought that this was a great bounce on Friday, and we just saw right back down to this level. So getting a little bit of a bounce today. Interesting to see how things are going to play out in the coming days as we have a short week. Ross, ATXG, no man, no, this is garbage. This is not tradable. You can see here it's just messy, no volume this morning, and it's just all over the place. And again, this ticker went from, as I mentioned earlier, from like $22 to 1100 after hours and back down. So again, I don't think you're gonna get that type of activity again, but I don't want nothing to do with that, man. All right, we are set, man. Let's go to community events and announcements. A couple of things happening throughout this week. We also have uh, P Capital starting tonight, so that's going to be exciting as well. Looking forward to that. Let's see what we got going on. Head over to bearbutraders.com, and we're going to go over to webinars.
Yeah, as you mentioned, P Capital starting tonight. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll hit that real quick before we get into this. Anybody involved in that will be getting an email today. Just a reminder to come tonight. There's nothing you need to do. There is nothing. Everything will be discussed and there in detail. So see you tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. All right. Also at 7 p.m. You doing this at 7 tonight, Carlos?
Yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern tonight.
Onboarding
Correct.
and
Yep.
technology with Carlos, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's the Bearable Trader side of thing. Usually it's every Monday, but because of the holiday, we do it on Tuesday. Then at 8 p.m. over here on BBT, Fundamentals of Profit Taking with John. Next week, Thor's going to be talking some VPA at 8 p.m. Eastern as well. Wednesday, we focus on psychology. So this week, we have Dr. Kenneth Reed talking about part 2 of his Trading Trance series. And then next week at 5 p.m., note the special time, Finding Your Mental Edge with Creda. Thursday is for mentorship, 11 a.m. with John, 4 p.m. with Ed, 8 p.m. with Thor. I apologize if you can hear my dog vigorously licking her feet. Sorry. StockTradingSimulator.com. Don't forget about StockTradingSimulator.com, our free web-based replay simulator where you can go 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to hone your trading skills. And if you're looking to give the room a shot, you can use the promo code PreMarket24 on the intro membership. Just go to bearabletraders.com. In the homepage on the membership table, you'll see the intro membership. It is a one-time payment. It does not recur. It'll give you 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room. If you'd like to become an elite annual member, you can still do so with the READ50 promo code. I believe that's going away today, but it's up for now. You can use that for the elite annual membership. It's half off and a free one-on-one coaching session with Dr. Kenneth Reed.
All right. Thank you very much, Norm. Looking at CVS, Mike, you mentioned big purchase news. Are they're buying something, obviously, probably. I haven't looked at it yet, so we'll check. But it's got to be big news, man. These guys, they don't move a whole lot. On earnings, you can find some good opportunities, but they're not the best intraday trading ticker. None of these pharmaceutical companies really are, you know. So if they're purchasing something,
it has zero volume.
yeah. So
it might be kind of a
don't know.
non-event. It doesn't look like it's really in play to me, at least right now.
So we'll see. We'll see. If that news is going to be big, we'll get some volume here. But right now, we don't have it. So, all right, guys, we are all set. We have Baba, we have Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, Oxy. We got some Passos, BBBY, GameStop, NCLH, and XBEV. I think these are some good Passos for now. And then we have this risky one down here. Is IC, which was up almost 40%, right? 38%. Back down to 23 here, and then looking to hopefully get a bounce here. So again, be very, very careful with this one. It is in play for sure. I like the volume, 10 million. And what will keep this going nicely is if we can hold here and head back to 1367 and show some sign that we are going to be, a stock in play as far as the long side. Can you short this? Yes, you can, but be very careful, man. Shorting these tickers that are hot. If a ticker's up 25%, there's a reason for it. And I always go back to Brian. Don't short a strong stock or don't long a weak stock. So I always have that in mind because it's true. Most of the time, these tickers are up this much for a reason. If it comes back to up to 1367, it could be interesting for some opportunities towards the long side here. So we'll see. Insane volume, definitely in play. But again, under risky pile, not a low flow stock. This is 100 million share stock, as we saw earlier here on Trade Ideas, ISEE. So Trade Ideas reporting 105 million on this one, but it's moving like a low for today. Really good spread in the pre-market now. So that's nice to see, right? You see a penny here. So that's great spread for pre-market. But yeah, be very careful when the way if you're going to be trading this. And just remind us, no volatility holds in the pre-market. So, careful with that as well. It can't keep going. Let's take a look here. BABA this morning, we'll do some levels here. Right now, we're below the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days, right? So both of these are on here showing some levels towards the top. I like this gap down this morning. The news is nothing crazy that I saw. I just saw, I guess, some more work on delisting and stuff like that. So some more news on that. But I don't see any other Chinese tickers getting it hit here. Because usually when we see something major like that, we start seeing Neo, we start seeing a lot of these other tickers, JD, drop down. So maybe the news is more specific to Baba. But again, I didn't see a let me check my notes here, make sure that I didn't miss anything. Yeah, I didn't see anything crazy on it, but I do like this drop down here. Baba can trade very well this morning, so definitely want to keep them on deck. Low of the pre-market, 89.54. We will slam a level there. And then we also have down here 86 66. CVS, another big name getting into home care. All right, but that could be healthcare. Okay. Yep. Okay, you've been healthcare. Yeah. It's a big name, but again, I just don't know if that is gonna move them a whole lot. Below 86.66 in case we do drop. And Baba can move. Baba can move really aggressive. We've seen that before. I'm gonna have down here 82.19 is the big level. That's the one that we've seen some bounces and great support out of. So I'm gonna put that down. But then in the middle here, we do have a kind of like a minor support resistance, right? You got a couple of days are finding support there as well. These two there, these two here, little bit of resistance there. But for the most part, 84.76, you might want to have that on there just in case. It could be a good midpoint between 86 and 82 if we do decide to flush it. Again, that's a stretch, but we've seen Baba get some really good moves, especially on the gap down. If you see when they gap up here, more when they gap up, they can sell down really aggressive. They can move quite a bit. We've seen that in the past plenty of times. So I like Baba this morning. Towards the top, do not need to add anything. You're all set there. Even your pre-market high, I believe, it's not market. We have 90.75. Your pre-market high is a little bit lower. You could put it on there. It's going to be at 90.49. 90.49 is your pre-market high there. Here is Apple, guys. Right now, just smack middle of the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. The only thing I'm going to add here is really the high of the pre-market and the low of the pre-market, right? So that's all we need there. High 157.32.39, the low 156.22. Great volume already, guys. It's not even 9 o'clock yet. We already have 632,000. So we got some pretty good movement happening here. So that's good there for Apple. Nvidia right now, Nvidia again had a big drop yesterday, right? Previous day close, you have the low from Friday and the lows for the last 2 trading days. That would have been Thursday and Friday. High of the pre-market on Nvidia is going to be 138.65, and I think this is going to be a good one to keep an eye on to see how they're going to react this week compared to the massive sell-off last week, Thursday and Friday. 137.02 is the low of the pre-market, and then you're surrounded by the bigger picture of the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days, right on here. So are we going to see some support here? Are we going to bounce back up to 145 and close this gap? I don't see that happening unless the market helps it. Again, if the market decides to sell off, I don't think they're going to have their own, their own. Well, they definitely don't have the catalyst because the catalyst is negative, right? But I don't think they'll be able to close that gap any other way. So that's Nvidia. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla has been so active, guys. A lot of gap up and sell down days here, right? Gapped up, sold off, gapped up, sold off. Same here, again on Friday. I think everything gapped up on Friday and sold off. So you got this the situation where loves to gap up and sell down here. So look at that gap, sold off, gap, sold off, sold off, sold off, sold off. Man, this loves to gap up and sell off. So we're not gapping up enough to make this a sell-off type day, but we're slamming at a level of support here, right? And we are obviously in the short period of time on a little bit of a downtrend here. We did get support here in the past that was resistance. So let's see how that's going to play out. 272 at the moment. High of the pre-market is actually all the way up at a 276.14. So slamming level there. And then your previous, your low of the pre-market, I'm not going to mark. You have the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. Basically right on there. So I'm not going to mark that. And an important level here is going to be this pre-market, the previous day close as well. So that's going to be more important for me when it comes to these levels. Now, if we lose these two here, the next one after that is going to be down at 262.09. So we are saying 262 on Tesla when we're just coming from talking about 800, 700, 900. But yeah, 262 on Tesla here. We'll be back up there in no time the way this stock trades. Here is Oxy 1.2 this morning, gapping up 226,000. Again, their pre-market always very, very similar, guys. Just sideways, not much going on there. Again, just you can't go by the pre-market on this ticker at all. They do have some higher than usual volume, a little bit here, 228. But you really can't go by that. At the market open, we will see exactly what this day wants to do. High of the pre-market 70.71, the low 69, 68.99, and I think you're pretty much set there. And you have this this area where you've been seeing a lot of activity the last 3 trading days, 1, 2, and 3. So it's just kind of right in the middle of this kind of small range we built here in the last couple of days. So let's see where this wants to go. It is up 1.2. Above the previous day close here. But again, just right back to the middle of this range that we're seeing here. So we'll see what this does. We'll need the market open to kind of see where things are going to head for Oxy. BBBY, again, gapping down big. I want to do levels for this one because I think this one could be explosive today. I mean, we're down 15% on some horrible news here. Low of the pre-market 647. You do have some areas here, 712 and towards the high that you do have some 750 as well, kind of this range that we've been just bouncing back and forth since this pre-market action this morning. Just kind of set about 734 for now. So we'll see what that plays out. But again, I have it as a possible because I can't go long on this one. So this will sit there for now. XOM, let's take a look. XOM, I don't have on my list. Again, there's been a couple of days where this thing does something that surprises me. Like, oh man, that was a good day, and I usually end up missing it because I don't watch this one. There's just a whole lot of news around this sector. So yeah, you can put this on your list. I wouldn't have them on my main list, maybe a secondary list if I was looking to trade these type of tickers. But I'm not a big fan of the way they move, right? That's just my take on it. But again, it's been a lot going on in this area, so you are going to get some movements here. It's just, can you spot them and can you take an opportunity based on the way you trade? The way I trade, this is not a great ticker for me. XBEV, we have on the list actually. XBEV is right over here. I don't know if you saw XBEV is past 1711, now all-time low for my charts. Yes. So someone did mention that on YouTube as well. So it is, that's why I have it here. That's why I added it to my list because it's past the all-time low here. So that is interesting. Volume is a little bit light right now. We do have shares for sure on this thing, down 1.1. So yeah, it will be interesting to see what XBEV does today. Are we going to get some kind of support here? We're going to bottom out and get some relief here a little bit, or are we continuing this dreadful downtrend we've been since mid-June and end of June, mid-June? So it looks like yeah, end of June, and it's just kind of getting this this drop here, just losing everything. And now all Chinese stocks are doing this. Like if you look at Baba, they're not dropping this much here like they have, right? They've been up and down, but XBEV has just been straight down here from 35 down to 16. So yeah, it's interesting when you start hitting those all-time lows. It's very, very interesting. Where do you see if there are no shares for sure? So for us, actually XBEV we do have shares for sure. You can see right up here, right? So you go to your montage, and this area here, this thing tells you a lot of information, right? So it'll tell you the exchange that it's in, nicely, New York Stock Exchange. Here you're gonna get a lot of info. I don't know what this area is called, but here you're gonna see if a stock is halted. You're gonna see if it's resumed trading. Halted would be, we'll just say halt. I think it's an H. If it resumed trading, you're gonna see a T. If it's on short selling restriction, you're going to see a SSR. And if it's shortable, you can see S. So you can have, you can have resume trading dot SSR, right? Short selling restriction dot S, right? I've seen tickers do that. All this means is the stock was halted at one point, resumed trading. It is on short selling restrictions, so you can only get filled at an uptick. And S means you do have inventory to short. And based on what broker you're using, this could be listed differently based on what platform you are using, right? But on Dash Trader Pro, this is how we can tell. And if you click on this, if you double tap S, you can see on here, it'll tell you how many units they have, an idea of how much they have available to short. When you look at BBY sometimes, and they should tell you, hey, we do have inventory for sure. And you look here, when you look at the details, it'd be like 5,000 units, like 1,000 units. So you might not get filled on that. That might be gone by the time you hit the button. And this is not live, obviously. This is updated every couple of probably minute or two. So it's a little bit behind. So sometimes you have zero. And if the stock gets shares like, BBY and GameStop, usually happens on these ones that are harder to get shares to short, you might still get filled, right? So you can do something like that. So hopefully that answers your question. Kind of shows you how you can see what's happening there as far as inventory. But we got plenty on XBEV this morning, millions of shares there. So that's not going to be an issue at all. But if you look at, for example, GameStop, no shares for short. So not shortable here. All right, guys, we are set. We are set. I know it's early. We got time for questions as well. So if you have questions, you can throw them out there. We'll get to them. Peter's just reporting no IPOs, no SPACs for today. So that's looking pretty quiet right now. Peter's having a little too much coffee this morning, having a little fun. This is what Peter's doing there. But yeah, guys, that is what we have as far as our watch list today. And let's see what else we got going on here. Anything else you guys watching that I might have missed? Looks like Neo can break down on the daily. I thought we looked at Neo. Did we look at let's go back to Neo. Neo, yeah, Neo's daily looks looks good. I think we briefly mentioned that, so we were talking about just the overall Chinese companies. But yeah, Neo's daily here looks real nice for a possible breakdown. They've been so choppy though. They've been so choppy. Friday looks like they actually traded well, right? So Friday, the initial drop here, right? So yeah, not bad. Yeah, it could be interesting. I think XPET will be a little bit more interesting today. But the good thing is that Neo always gets the volume, right? Even when they're choppy, they get the volume. 60 million shares, 50 million shares. You don't get that with XPET. You're doing 14 barely at times. So that's the great thing about Neo. You get the volume. And if they can move in one direction, you're gonna have some good liquidity, some good movement, some good follow through, which can get your trade going pretty nice. Take new instead, better volume, good daily. Yeah, Christian, I agree, but XFIT's got the they got the all-time low here, right? So we'll see. Let's see. Let's take this bet. I'll take XFIT. You need Christian, you take Neo, and we'll talk tomorrow, see how we make out here. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. They're both. I agree with you. Neo with the volume is always interesting, but I do like XFIT for the all-time low today. That could be a exciting area to trade in on its own. What about CCJ if it breaks above 30? CCJ, was that the one that went nuts on last week, right? Did this thing go wild and just shot up like crazy? Was it this one? I think it was on this day here, maybe the week before. Yeah, above 30. Yeah, the daily looks like it wants to go above 30, right? We're back up here, up 2.7. I remember this thing was wild though, man. It's so light on volume. I think we had a one really good day here. Then outside of that, it hasn't really traded all that well. But I do see a possibility of testing 30 again, right? That was the high of the most recent high here. What is it? Maybe 29.99 or something. Right on 29.94 is what I'm reading. But yes, 29.94. We'll see, man. This thing can get going. I can see that. I, I'm gonna put it here just to see if it does, but most likely I won't trade it, man. I saw what it did last week and the week before. It just wasn't clean, right? It just wasn't clean for the way I like to trade. Um, so that's just my take on CCJ. Is Nordstrom or Nord Stream still off? What ticker is that? WJ. Neo got AR coming up. Yeah. What's Neo? Yes, Neo got earnings. That's right. Neo does have earnings coming up on we looked at that earlier, right? Is it tomorrow? Check tradingterminal.com. Yes, it is tomorrow alongside GameStop, and this is going to be probably evening. Yes, so evening. See, this will be in play then. After earnings will be in played. I'm sure Ed will be looking at this during his trading, Neo and GameStop. I don't recall how well they trade for earnings, like the same when they report earnings. I don't recall how well they do. But yeah, they'll have earnings tomorrow night. So on this will be Thursday morning. Thursday morning will be on our list. Thursday morning will be on our list and see what it does there. Sometimes you have some action that might come up, tomorrow on this, but we'll see. Thursday morning for sure. We should have this on. There's some other ones reported, as I mentioned earlier, DocuSign. You got Kroger as well. I don't know any of these other companies here, or at least don't know them from a Smith and Wesson from a good trading perspective, right? Some of these are just don't move well. Just look at the name. Dave and Buster's, they get no volume. No volume whatsoever. All right, cool. So that's what we have there. So yeah, so Neo probably Thursday will be on the list. We'll see if it does anything today. I highly doubt it. Usually after earnings is when you start getting the action there. Neo has been on the calendar for weeks. Well, Dan, yeah, I mentioned that earlier. I'm saying is Neo really reporting? But I went to because I felt like I've seen that logo there quite a bit, like every other week or something. So here I did confirm with Trade Ideas that we do have them reporting. See, this says pre-market. Neo is funky, man. Neo is funky. This says pre-market. I have somewhere else says after hours. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yes, Eric. I did go over BTU. I don't like this ticker, man. I think it pre-market right now. There's nothing fun to see. That's for sure. I mean, you're up 7.2, and there's just no action here. But aside from the pre-market, if you look at the daily, I mean, sorry, the not the daily, but the previous times it traded, it gets really light volume. And again, there's nothing wrong with light volume. It's just you have to have a different style of trading. I need the volume to trade because when I take a trade, usually open range breakup, a breakout out of a pre-market high level or daily level. I want my stock to move right away in that direction. Like right away, I want to be hopefully into the green, right? Because I'm trading a breakout, it's got to break out. If I'm sitting there, 1 or 2 minutes and 3 minutes is not breaking out, something is wrong. Same thing with the ORB breakdown on a 5 minute. If I get in, I want this thing to start running in my direction. Stocks that trade like this, 5 million shares, you don't get that movement. You have to sit in it, and it's just I don't want to say I get impatient, but it's just not my style of trading, right? And also, if you look at and watch this one today, watch this one today. We're at the market open. The way that the candles are formed, they're very sluggish. I don't know the right word to explain this. I have to get a recording to kind of explain better what I mean. You're not getting that fluid movement because just the volume is not there, right? So they're very sluggish in the way they're building. They kind of pop up, they hold, and they come back, and then they go back. And then eventually you get this, what seems to be a nice, and this is the 5 minute, what seems to be a nice pattern forming. But if you look at the details here, the way this formed was like, well, this candle popped up and it held it for a couple of seconds. And then this one came up halfway, and then it came up halfway, then it comes down. It's very, very sluggish like this. And I don't like that type of movement. Now, depending on your style of trading, that could be perfectly fine for you. And this could be a great ticker. But usually things that have this low volume, under 10 million for the daily, even 20 million at times, they don't trade that clean. Even if you look at a Ford, for example, Ford is going to move better because they're going to get heavy volume, but they just don't move a whole lot, right? But they're gonna have that price action bouncing back and forth. They're gonna move better. They just don't move a whole lot. I mean, this is a 5 cents move here, right? So you're sitting around here between 5 cents for it. They just don't move, right? But their price action, not their price action, their volume action, if that's even a right thing, is gonna move better than a BTU, right? So hopefully that can give you an idea of why I don't like tickers that have this low volume on the daily. Now today, right? Today they're doing 296, right? Which we have to look at that. They're doing 296,000 shares traded. They're up 7.2. What's the catalyst on this thing again? Anybody? I'm sorry if you guys threw it out and I missed it. What's the catalyst on BTU? Today could be a difference maker, right? Regardless of what it has done in the past, which is most likely to do, right? The stock's behavior is kind of like their DNA. What they do more often is kind of what you can expect. Today, they're popping up nicely, 7.2. So you might expect something a little bit different, but it's not going to be too far off from the tree. I'll tell you that much, unless it's a major, major catalyst, right? It's not going to be too far from what they're used to trading. And that's just my take. Not just on BTU, on anything that looks like this. That you have a nice gap up, you have okay, decent volume, but their track record shows that they're not, the best intraday trading stock as far as moves, right? So this can apply just to any ticker that seems very similar to this here. We have a few. We always see these type of tickers that have this. SE is another one. SE is another one that doesn't get great volume. And it moves very sporadic, always on our gap up list and gap down. Today they're gapping down 2.3. What makes this a little bit more interesting though on SE, if you like this one, is that you're looking to lose an area you had a previous bounce from, this 60, right? You kind of flirting with that low over there, 58, 55. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. What are your feelings about trading XPX with the ODTE credit spreads? Man, I don't even know what ODTE credit spreads is. So this question's got to be for somebody that knows what that is. I have no idea what that is. But I'll be willing to learn, so I'll definitely make a note of that and see what that is about, but I have no idea. DWAC getting whacked this morning. DWAC getting whacked this morning. Yes, they are. They are getting a little bit of a drop here, 20% down. Again, not great news for them. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out today. I have it on my secondary. I thought I had it on my secondary. I know we can short it, but I think it's still in play, man. There might be not a bounce opportunity, but you might get a scalping opportunity if this thing does shoot up a little bit, right? Just be careful. Reversals I'm not great at reversals. I'm actually horrible at reversals, so I tend not to do them. But for example, you see Jared taking these reversals, right? He's got his set criteria and what he's looking for. Thor as well taking these reversals. I mean, they're buying right at the money seems, man, like right when thing is turning. So be on the lookout for that. But aside from that, we can short it. So I don't have it on my list this morning. Amazon, I don't have on deck, but a good one. That's a one to always keep an eye on. I think Amazon can do very, very good. Amazon this morning. Yeah, got some volume here. One of our usual suspects, right? Tesla, Nvidia, and Apple. They're all going to be doing probably the same thing. They don't got their own news here, so I expect them to do the same thing. Actually, here moving up a little bit, so that's going to be fun. I think this one is always interesting to watch, especially the way the market has been. JW, I never told me what Nordstrom was. If you're talking about Nordstrom, I think it's JW, right? Nordstrom, JW, or JWM, JWM, JWN. It's gonna get it sooner or later. Thank you guys, David from Connecticut, Ralph Silo. Thank you. But yeah, no action here, no volume. This is definitely not in play. What's in play here? Then and our probably guesses was earnings. And this is the only time we see JWN when they have earnings or something interesting going on. Let's take a look at a few more. Then we'll look at our moderators lineup to start this week, this short week, guys. It is Tuesday. As we get ready to rock and roll. PDD here was active. Not last week as much as the week before. The week before, I mean, just look at the rip we had here, guys. This is incredible. PDD going from 48 all the way to 72 and just kind of setting a range here on 72 and 68. An interesting daily. I mean, every day here we gapped up the last 3 trading days. I'm sorry, gap down, sold up, gap down, sold up, gap down, sold up. So interesting. We're gapping down again, 1.5. So are we going to repeat this situation here, heading up to 72? Higher low this time, right? The few times here we went down all the way to 68, gap down around 70. We're 71 now. Daily is interesting, man. Volume is not there, not the best trader, but this daily is interesting. If we can get the volume, it looks like it wants to get rid or get above the 72. It really does, right? This daily. So I'm gonna put it on here just to see what happens. Not really a stock in play right now, but this daily does look interesting. The way it's dropping down like this and kind of heading back up to 72 the last 3 trading days. And it set that mark there from the beginning. That was an area of resistance from early on. So when we got up here about a week ago. So yeah, it could be interesting. I like that there. I don't like the ticker as much, but I like the setup on the daily. I do like that there. All right, guys, I think we're getting all set. Let's take a look at the moderators lineup. I got a few on here. We have Peter, we have Eamon, we have Thor, we have Susan, we have Megan. Getting ready to start this week. So yeah, man, let's look at that and let's rock and roll here. Two more I'm gonna look at because you guys been waiting patiently. ILM. What is this? ILMN. No volume. No. This is no good. And even when it's in play, it's tough, trader, man. Tough times. I'll be careful on that one. You need volume. And normally on the daily, we're talking about BTU, right? Look here, just even less volume, below 3.3 million. So again, just be careful, man. These stocks that have this higher price with such low volume, one, the spread is going to be insane, right? It's a dollar spread now, right? And even with a dollar spread, it's going to get better in the pre-market. Look at how many shares are coming through here, how many orders. The level, even at the market open, the level 2 is going to be very light, which I don't like. So yeah, so be mindful of that. APDN, we'll take a look at this as well. APDN, no, lower price stock, more of a penny stock trying to break out here in the last couple of days, weeks or so. This is August, yeah. So yeah, this is not good. Just for the way we trade, I won't pay attention to this one here. This is monkeypox news. Yeah, so you could be on the lookout for it. It could be a good scalping opportunity. But man, I'm just not a fan of these penny type stocks. So I'm gonna skip on that there. Williams, we did look at CVS. So CVS, there could be some opportunities there, but right now there's no volume. So you gotta be on the lookout to get volume on this day. So they have the news of what they're purchasing someone, hopefully here, possibly. But there's no volume on it right now. So you kind of got to wait a little bit on that. All right, guys, let's take a look at our moderators lineup. Let's go ahead and switch this over here. We are sitting at 129 likes over on YouTube. So if you could help us there, get above 200, 250, we would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to bring over our moderators lineup here and see what we got going on, what our moderators like this morning. Let's go ahead and, do this here, disable video so you guys don't get the mirror effect. And we're going to bring this over. All right, let's see what we have here. So starting with over here so we don't block our watch list. And starting with Peter, AMD, Apple, Tesla, secondary list, Nvidia, Baba, and Oxy. Amy will be looking at potential shorts. Amazon, Neo is a good one. Piton as well. Thor, AMD, Neo, and Amazon. I see everybody liking Neo today. Susan looking at Baba, Neo, AMD, secondary list, Apple, and Tesla. Mega will be looking at Nvidia, Oxy, Microsoft, and Meta. And Brian will be looking at IC, which is could be a high flyer today, man, up 30%. So it came back up to, what's the price now? 12 something. So I think it's coming back up there. That's nice. Baba, BTU, TQQ, and SQQ for Brian this morning. So he is all set to rock and roll, guys. Take it through the open with, I believe, Thor. So Thor and Brian will be taking it through the open this morning. Guys, over on YouTube, thank you for the likes. We moved up a little bit there to 170. If we can get 30 more, we really appreciate it. It does help out the channel a whole lot. That's why I ask, because it does help us out with the algos and all that good stuff to get the channel up and running and going here. So appreciate you guys doing that. And for those that are already done, thank you very much. All right, guys, we're all set. It is Tuesday. Let's get this week started. I'm going to wait for Brian to hop on, and I will hand it off to these gentlemen to get you guys through the market open today. So it's going to be a good one. As we wait for them, recap here is we have Baba, we have Apple, we have our usual suspect, Nvidia and Tesla, and we also have Oxy on deck, which is, again, I think Oxy is going to be a good one today. Their pre-market is looking very, very active this morning compared to what we've seen in the past. So looking forward to that. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate thumbs up. William, thank you guys. Gene, thank you so much. USAS, is that natural gas as well? Gary, I better wait for him. Yeah, I better wait for Brian. He doesn't like it when I hop off before he comes on. Yeah, oil and gas. I'm sorry, gold and silver. Yeah, not a great trader though. Good morning, Brian. How you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing well, thanks. How was your long weekend?
Long weekend was good, man. Had a great time with the family. A couple of barbecues I went to, and yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So I hope you had a great time as well.
Oh, yeah. Had a good long weekend for sure.
All right, excellent. I'm gonna hop off here, guys, over on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining the pre-market prep. We will see you tonight for the onboarding class at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and if after that we have their strategy at 8 p.m. Tonight. So take care, guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys tonight at 7.